What's up, my Century Unit? It's the Sentiment here, so back again with another classic Survivor Series pay-per-view review. This month marks the 20th anniversary of a truly classic Survivor Series show I'm going to review right now. That is Survivor Series 2002 at Madison Square Gardens in New York City on the 17th of November 2002. The attendance of the show was 17,930. Survivor Series 02 received about 340,000 pay-per-view buys. Downgrade in the 2001 show, that was the final Survivor Series pay-per-view under the WWF name. The main event of that show was Team WWF versus Team Alliance. It was the final pay-per-view of the Invasion storyline. Yeah, main event, Team WWF versus Team Alliance. Anyway, so Survivor Series 01 received about 450,000 pay-per-view buys. Wow. I think the 2003 Survivor Series show reached that 400 mark. After 2003, I think the buy rate of Survivor Series has gone down. I don't want to get into it, so anyway, so Survivor Series 2002 is memorable for many things. For many fans, they consider Survivor Series 02 to be one of the greatest Survivor Series of all time. I'll get to my overall thoughts of the show in the end. So this show is memorable for many things. You know, the debut of the Elimination Chamber match. You got a debut or re-debut or return of a hottest free agent. I'll get to that later on. Shawn Michaels, spoiler alert, wins the title. I'll get to the main event in later on. So yeah, MSG. By the way, it's the first Survivor Series to be at MSG since Survivor Series 96. Next time they did a Survivor Series in MSG was in 2011, a decade later. That was the John Cena Rock Survivor Series. They team up to take on Austin Truth. And the same show, you had CM Punk win his second WWE Championship. And Owens' record in Survivor Series matches broken. Yeah, I reviewed Survivor Series 2011 last year. Go and check it out. So it's a damn shame that we're never going to see a Survivor Series in MSG. It's the biggest arena in the world. I hope they do it, because stop doing these Survivor Series in these arenas. Like, for once, hope they bring it back in MSG. It's, I think they still got the money. It just takes you back, because Survivor Series over the years was at MSG. I don't know. Yeah, maybe they cut the money. It's very expensive, but I don't know. I don't want to get into it. So hope they bring it back. It's the iconic stadium. So arena, same thing. Anyway, so oh yeah, this is this show is the first Survivor Series pay-per-view under the WWE name, and the first Survivor Series show since the start of the first brand split. The commentators for the show: for Raw we got JR and the King. For SmackDown we got Michael Cole and Taz. A quick result on an episode of Heat. You got William Regal and Lance Storm defeating the Hurricane and Goldust. So the first match to kick off Survivor Series 2002. This is a 6-man elimination tables match. So we got the Dudleys, Bubba Ray and Spike Dudley, and Jeff Hardy taking on 3-minute warning. That is Rico, Jamal, the future Umaga, and Rosie, the brother of Roman Reigns. So Rico used to be Rico used to be the manager of Billy and Chuck, because at the time they were doing the gay gimmick, but they kind of ditched Billy and Chuck. So 3-minute warning is the heavy of Raw GM at the time, Eric Bischoff. So sadly, both Jamal and Rosie are no longer with us today. It got me thinking, like, we're in 2022. We're in the middle of Roman Reigns' 2-year career revival as the Tribal Chief, the longest reigning Universal Champion, the Undisputed Champion, leader of the Bloodline. It got me thinking in some fantasy booking. If Jamal, the future Umaga, and Rosie, if they just stay healthy, like drop the body weight down, it got me thinking that if they didn't have Sami Zayn in the Bloodline, you know, because this group is more Samoan, because Roman's Samoan, the Usos are Samoan. I can't pronounce who Sio Soka. Sorry, I can't really pronounce his name properly. He's also Samoan. It got me thinking that, um, you know, if they were in this group, if that would make, you know, should like, Roman's like brother and cousin also be in the group instead of Sami Zayn, who's actually not Samoan. He's like Canadian. If they will be in the group, if they're still alive, I don't know. I think I think they'll fit in the group pretty damn well. Are they gonna go? I think they'll probably. I don't know. I think the tag team titles will never be unified. I think the Usos will hold the SmackDown tag team championships, and Rosie and Jamal. I think you can call him Jamal Umaga. He can do a spin of his old gimmick. They'll probably hold the Raw tag team belts. So it's a shame. What might have been if Jamal and Rosie is still alive. If they still in the group. Don't know. And it's just like what if. So it's a damn shame. They died. Roman. I think Roman's brother died. Was it 27? I think it was a few years later. I know Umaga dies in 2009. Wow, man. So anyway, that's my spiel on it. So anyway, 3-minute warning got some heat on the Go Home Raw when they put Spike and Jeff Hardy through a table. This is good, man. I really enjoyed this match. By the way, the Dudleys were broken up due to the draft because Devon went to SmackDown. Bubba Ray and Spike remained on Raw. I think Bubba and Spike, they were in this hardcore division. At this moment in time, the hardcore division is officially no more. So anyway, and also Bubba Ray was also had a little spell in the world title picture against Triple H. Bit of a side note, by the way. Anyway, the match was good. Tables matches could be hit or miss. With the right booking, it could be really entertaining. This was entertaining. Like the one moment of this match, I think Rosie or Jamal, I think it was like Bubba got up, flipped, low blow, knocked him off one of the 3-minute warning members, off the corner. One of them did like a backflip. Wow, one of them is very athletic, of his size, which is the big, fat dude, fat Samoans. Rosie looks like, like I say, it's Roman Reigns' brothers, but he looks like a fat version of Roman Reigns. Anyway, so Jeff Hardy did his typical spot, the Swanton, I think it was the Swanton Bomb, or some kind of spot. I think it was on Rosie or Jamal. I think he kind of put them through a table or something. I think it was Rosie. I think he also put Jamal also with the table outside the ring. One of them go through the table with the Swanton Bomb by Jeff Hardy. Spike, really, there were a lot of crazy spots, crazy bumps, Jamal and Rosie hit Spike. I thought it was going for like the future triple powerbomb, but instead they kind of flatjack Spike Dudley through the table. So anyway, and Jamal, wow, man, he put Jeff Hardy through a table. He hits I think it was a moonsault off the top rope and through Jeff Hardy, put Jeff through the table outside the ring. Wow, he's very, wow. I'm glad he stopped doing it because when he was Umaga, I think Umaga was more he's this brawler, the Samoan bulldozer. Anyway, so trying to keep it short and simple. Afterwards you had Jamal, the final two is Rico and Bubba Ray. Jamal and Rosie beating down Bubba. About to put, Bubba Ray through the table. And also Bubba kind of put Jamal, I think it was Rosie got eliminated Jeff Hardy. And then Bubba eliminated Jamal. He kind of powerbombed him off the top rope and through a table inside the ring. That was cool. I'm trying to remember the spots, by the way. Afterwards, they kind of beat down, they got eliminated. They helped Rico beat down Bubba. Out comes Devon Dudley, because at the time he was on SmackDown doing the whole reverent gimmick. That's not really got him over, trying to give him this singles run. It didn't really got him over, it never worked. On the bright side, you got Batista out of this, as the Deacon. Future 6 times world champion Batista as a Deacon before, part of Evolution, and become a multiple-time world champion. So, Devon is there, came to the rescue, and both Bubba and Devon hit Rico with the 3D, put him through the table to win this match. So the Dudleys and Jeff Hardy are the winners. This was the start of the reunited version of the Dudleys. Bubba Ray and Devon, because the whole bulk of 2002 was Spike and Bubba and Devon's on SmackDown. But it's good to see Devon and Bubba Ray reunited once again. They end up breaking up years later in TNA. So the Dudleys, Team 3D never last forever. So anyway, it was a fun tables match to kick off the pay-per-view. It was fun. It was action-packed. It's a good way to kick off the pay-per-view. So, and also I done my research. There was blood after this next match. We'll get to that shortly. There was blood in the ring because reports that Rico injured his arm in this match. His arm was messed up after he took the 3D onto the table. I think it was a table spot. It was years later. That was years ago, around 2000, that Billy Gunn suffered a shoulder injury through a table. And rumors like Finlay injured his leg by the Nasty Boys. Anyway, that's another story for another time. But sometimes if you don't do it wrong, the spot, you end up like it'd be cautious and like tragic. So anyway, let's move on to the next match. So, by the way, the opening was good. So moving on to the first of 5 championship matches on this show. So the next match, this is for the Cruiserweight Championship. We got Jamie Noble with Nydia in his corner, defending the Cruiserweight Championship against Billy Kidman. I like the whole Noble-Nydia relationship storyline because there were the trailer park couple. Nydia, in my opinion, got to be underrated as a manager. She was mostly a manager instead of a wrestler, man. That's another story for another time about Nydia, man. So the match was good. Not an all-time classic Cruiserweight match. It's been better ones before and after this. Noble won the title at the final King of the Ring pay-per-view in June of that year. So he had a good run with it. So Kidman was a multiple-time Cruiserweight champion both in WCW and WWF/WWE. I like this match, back and forth. I think some bulks of the match had Noble working on the back and neck area of Billy Kidman. Nydia she interfered a lot. I think it was 3 times. It didn't really bother me, but she took a bullet. She took the bump in this match when she's trying to interfere. She smacked Kidman, and Noble accidentally knocked Nydia out of the ring apron. And then later on, in the end, Kidman was going for the shooting star press. She tried to interfere, but Kidman kicked Nydia off the ring apron. In the end, Kidman hit the shooting star press onto Jamie Noble to win this match and become Cruiserweight champion once again. I don't know, I think it was 7 or 8 times in his career. I think he won 4 in WCW, 4 in the WWF/WWE, because the Cruiserweight title's been around 1 year since, the Invasion storyline. So, and I think it was the last of, this was the last of Kidman's career. And here's a report, and here's a fun fact, and shocking fact, that this, when Noble won the Cruiserweight title, this is the only Cruiserweight title reign he had in his career. He never won and got no sniff of, he never got a single sniff of the Cruiserweight title ever again. It's a shame. I think he should have won more. So, but anyway, so this is the time the Cruiserweight title was the Cruiserweight division and the title was really good. It declined in the second half of the decade. I don't want to get into that 2016 Cruiserweight division. That's another, like I said, another story, another time, my buzzword. Let's move on. But it was by the way, the Kidman Noble match was decent to watch, fun to watch. So the next match is another second of 5 championship matches. This is for the Women's Championship. This is a hardcore match. Trish Stratus defending the belt against Victoria, the future Tara. So they fought at No Mercy the previous month. So the backstory going into this, Victoria used to be part of the WWF. You know the story. She said in multiple interviews that she met China in a gym. She was part of the Godfather's Hose in 2000. She came back in 2002. The build up to this, she was more sadistic and being this lesbian type of gimmick. She wasn't playing a lesbian in this in her only run. It was kind of like some lesbian overtones. She kind of hate Trish in kayfabe because both Trish and Victoria, that's Lisa Marie Ferran, that's her Victoria's real name. They used to be fitness models, but Trish used her politics to stop Victoria being signed, so that's the reason why she hates Trish. They like Trish in real life, but in kayfabe they don't like. So the build up to this, you had Victoria beating down Trish Stratus, wearing Trish's cowboy hat, and also attacking Terry Reynolds, the interview girl at the time, to get more heat. So let's talk about it. And also you have the FTV the FTV segment. It didn't really serve a purpose. I think it's like an alternative version of GTV that was something in the Attitude Era. Just some kind of security camera. So Victoria was pissed off. Did the whole mirror on the wall thing, smashing a glass mirror. So the match was good between Trish and Victoria. Wasn't an all-time classic. Wasn't a mat wrestling classic. It was a fun match to watch. I don't really call it sloppy. It was fun to watch. They're using like iron boards, mops, trash cans. The trash cans shots to the head was like brutal. Yeah, they ain't got no one. I think Victoria bled in this match. By the nose. I think Victoria was about to hit Trish with the mirror, but Trish denied it, and I think Victoria kind of like stepped on the mirror because that's 14 years bad luck. My apologies, because if you break a mirror, that's 7 years bad luck. So anyway, so I know it's superstition. Anyway, so in the end, Victoria sprayed Trish with the fire extinguisher. Hit with a snap suplex. This is before she ended up using her finisher, the Widow's Peak, to win this match and become the women's champion for the first time. First of two women's title for Victoria in her one and only reign in the company. Yeah, she win more in TNA years later. That's another story for another time. But it was a fun match because to see Victoria winning the title. I think Trish won the title back at WrestleMania 19. Not too sure. So yeah, it was a fun match. By the way, there's no ounce of bad matches on the show, so I'll get to if they got okay matches in my overall thoughts of the show in the end. So that's match number 3. Match number 4. This is for the WWF. WWF. Sorry, the WWE Championship. My apologies. So we got Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman in his corner, defending the title against the Big Show. Brock the previous month at No Mercy. Fought in that epic Hell in a Cell match between The Undertaker. Both bled. Brock was bleeding. Undertaker was bleeding. Paul Heyman was bleeding. The build up to, and also after that you had the win off Undertaker. He was taking some time off. Big Show was traded to SmackDown. He was on Raw. Had this bust up between him and Eric Bischoff. So turned heel, attacked The Undertaker for weeks. He beamed down Brock. Heyman, Brock's manager at the time, like basically wanting Brock because he's trying to be cautious to Brock because he had a rib injury. And I've done my research that I think it was during and after Brock's match with The Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell at No Mercy that he literally broke his rib, cleaned off his body. It's floating around his body. That's sick. And also he was suffering a knee injury, a slight PCL. I think it was during and after his match with The Undertaker at No Mercy, man. Wow, Brock is a badass, working with these injuries. So the match was on paper looks good. Was it the movable force? Was it the unstoppable force versus the movable object? And I feel like it's paid off really good. I don't like that match from 2015. It was just like Brock's doing the whole suplex thing. Big Show was way past his prime, but back in 2002, it's not really like a 4-star classic. It's not. I think it was really good. It was really, I think they did serve its purpose. It was big brutes at the time. This is Brock Lesnar in his prime. 0203 was Brock prime. Compared to right now, he's just doing suplex, F5, Kimura. I don't like that first one, Brock. This Brock was good. He was more of a badass. He can destroy. He's more of a destroyer. I think they did well. They did serve its purpose. Brock managed to hit the Big Show with the suplex. This before Suplex City, by the way. Here's the ending. This is really good about the ending. So, in the end, Brock managed to hit the Big Show with the F5 onto. I think it was onto the chair. There was a referee bump. Another referee comes out. He's about to do the 3 count. Brock almost thought he's going to retain the title. Suddenly, Paul Heyman yanked the referee out of the ring. Brock got pissed off, and Big Show hit Brock with the choke slam onto the chair to beat him and win the WWE Championship. I think it was the 3rd time or 2nd time. I'm not really too sure. I think it was Brock's. I think I might be wrong. This was Big Show's last. I think it was his last championship reign in his career. He's never won another WWE title ever again. Right now he's in AEW. He might come back years later if he gets inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. So seeing Heyman turn on Brock, for the first time, Heyman turned on Brock for the 2nd time. I think it's this year in 2022 to align himself with Roman Reigns. So you had in the end, Big Show, Heyman run for Brock. It's a shame for Brock's title reign to be cut very short. Because he beat The Rock for the title at SummerSlam in August of that year, and then he had an epic Hell in a Cell match against The Undertaker in October. Yeah, he feuded with The Undertaker and also in Unforgiven, but he never got a lengthy reign. I wish he hold it much longer, but they're putting the belt on the Big Show. I think he was getting, I don't know, the Big Show winning the title was a bit it's a bit debatable, but it's just furthering up the storyline. So it didn't last Big Show's reign. He ended up dropping the title to Kurt Angle at Armageddon. So yeah. Brock went on to, the start of 2003, win the Rumble, and defeat Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 19. And that's another story for another time. So let's move on to the next match. So the next match, you can tell the second half of the show is starting to pick up really up to full throttle. So this is another championship match. This is the 4th championship match. This is a triple threat elimination tag team match for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Sorry, it's speaking too fast, but it's getting a little bit late. But anyway, so we got Edge and Rey Mysterio, the WWE Tag Team Champions, defending the belt against Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, and Los Guerreros. That is Eddie and Chavo Guerrero. So what happened after No Mercy? So at No Mercy, Angle and Benoit become the first WWE Tag Team Champions, or the inaugural Tag Team Champions. It's one or the other you call it, but I call it first Tag Team Champions of SmackDown, because I think Raw will rechristen the WWE Tag Team Champions to the World Tag Team Championships. So they need Tag Team Championships for the Blue Brand. So Angle and Benoit won the championships at SmackDown. A few weeks later, they dropped the tag team titles to Rey Mysterio and Edge. And I think Guerrero's got involved, so that led up to a triple threat match. So here's the one funny segment on this show, because at the time Benoit and Angle, they're not getting along, they're at each other's throats. So they've been feuding for years now, since late 90s and the start of the new millennium, going back to their rivalry in 2001, WrestleMania 17, the submission Iron match at I think it was at Backlash, and also Backlash, and also I think they fought in Judgment Day as well. So they had matches over the years. So Angle said to Benoit, says, stay out my way, and Benoit says, Would you say that again? Angle just trying to calm down. Benoit says we're bussing buddies, we're partners, we're amigos. What do you say? Benoit wants to shake Angle's hand. Sorry, I'm speaking too fast. So Angle says, yeah, we don't shake hands. Tag team partners don't shake hands. Tag team partners hug. Seeing like Angle hugging Benoit. Wow, Kurt Angle, in my opinion, he's got to be one of the most entertaining heels in professional wrestling history. You know, in TNA he was more of a serious badass, but in WWE in his first run, he was fucking entertaining. You know he could be both, being a serious heel, but at the same time could be an entertaining badass, an entertaining heel. He could be doing the comedy stuff, but at the same time be serious. You know, it's like, you know, proving that, I think Cornette says, like, comedy don't sell, but, you know, guys like Edge, Christian, Angle made it work. So I kind of like Kurt Angle, his mannerisms, you know, he's really entertaining. You know, it's shame, like, in his second run, we never got that heel Kurt Angle run for the first time in years. You know, he's really good, like the stuff with Edge and Christian. Years later with Shawn Michaels, mimicking his theme music. You know, he's just, you know, wearing the cowboy hat with Steve Austin. You know, he's just damn entertaining. So, anyway, let's talk about this match. So the match was really good. This is the SmackDown 6. You know, it's really established that SmackDown at the time was the wrestling show. You got like good workers like Mysterio, Eddie, Angle, Benoit, Edge. Really, and Brock Lesnar, really, Undertaker as well. They really carried the blue brand at the time. It was really good. I'm trying to keep it short and simple. A lot of moving parts of it. So, back and forth. A lot of tag team maneuvers. There was one more of the match. You know, you had, I think, Benoit locked Edge with the triple crossface, and Angle locked Edge with the ankle lock. That was good to see. You know, Guerrero's doing that line cheating, stealing thing. You know, anyway, so I think it was Benoit locked Edge. I think it was Edge with the triple crossface. I think it was Eddie or Chavo. Chavo hit Benoit with the tag team title belt, throw it at Kurt, blaming at Kurt, hit Benoit with the tag team title belt. You know, Benoit and Kurt never. Benoit does not believe Kurt's like bullshit, so. In the end, you know, Benoit and Angle are the first tag team eliminated. Edge eliminated Benoit with the spear. They end up beating down. They beat down, you know, the other tag teams to get some more heat. They end up fighting. I think they did break up the tag team, and then they end up fighting for the WWE Championship in the start of 2003. So, I don't know if they got like a rubber match or a blow off. I think they did got a blow off, but not them as tag teams. You know, they never were in the tag team division ever again for Kurt and Benoit. Benoit teamed up with Edge in 2004. That's another story for another time. So, anyway, the final two is Edge, Mysterio taking on Los Guerreros. Really good. In the end, Eddie made Rey Mysterio tap out with, I think it's called the Lasso from El Paso. Really good name. It was basically a Texan cloverleaf. Rey tapped out, and Los Guerreros won the tag team titles. I think it's the first time that Eddie and Chavo won the tag team titles together, because you know they had history going back to their days in WCW. You know, they're feuding. They were part. I think they were part of the LWO. They were feuding in 1998. You know, but they had history, but they never won the tag team titles as you know together in WCW. But in the WWE they did. It's good to see them. I think it's the first of two or first of three. I think it's the first of two they won. They dropped the tag team titles to the Bashams in 2000, late 03, early 04. So it's just proving that at the time the SmackDown was better than Raw. You know, due to the Raw you got the Reign and Terror thing, but you had some bright spots. But you can tell like SmackDown's more the workhorse show, the entertaining show, the wrestling show. But it was a really, I'd say like number 2 best match of the show. So moving on to the segment, you got Christopher Nowinski coming out, basically calling the fans in MSG like stupid, saying like the Yankees bought their World Series titles. I think at the time the Yankees were winning something. They haven't won the title since 2009. I'm referring to the World Series. So then you got Matt Hardy coming out saying like the people of New York are not stupid, but they are more the losers. So decided to call them Lupid. So this is the first pay per view. I think this is the first pay per view debut of Matt Hardy version 1. You know, very underrated gimmick from Matt Hardy. His two best gimmicks of Matt Hardy's career has to be Matt version 1 and also Broken Matt in TNA. You know, a decade and a half later. So out comes the debut or return of Scott Steiner. He was in the WWE or WWF if you got old school back in the 90s with teaming up with his brother Rick as a tag team, but this is first time as Big Papa Pump. He came out, you know, the fans went ape shit, and he ended up beating down both Christopher Nowinski, who was at the time doing the Harvick gimmick, and Matt Hardy. And there's one moment they kind of cut it off the network. You know, Scott Steiner shout, "Give me a fucking mic." He basically shouted, "Holla, can you hear me?" And that was the start of the second run of Scott Steiner, of his second run in the company, and this was the beginning of the end of Scott Steiner. So it started well in MSG, yeah, and it went downhill. You know, I should have really done a video of the worst moments of the Attitude Era. I will do it. You know, that'll be next month. Stay tuned for that. So, it starts out well, good pop in MSG, beating down the annoying heels of Nowinski, who's represent Raw, Matt Hardy's represent SmackDown, and then it went downhill, you know, kissing Stephanie McMahon, who at the time she was the SmackDown GM, and then his feud with Triple H for the World title at the Royal Rumble and No Way Out, plus that crap feud with Taz over Stacy Kibble, really done him in. That's another story for another time, you know. So let's move it on to the main event. So the main event, this is the first ever Elimination Chamber match for the World Heavyweight Championship. So Triple H defending the world title against Kane, Booker T, Chris Jericho, Ralph Van Dam, and Shawn Michaels. This is Shawn Michaels' first match since his match with Triple H at SummerSlam that August. You know, Triple H like took him out, pulled him out, you know, injured his back, injured his back in kayfabe because in reality Shawn was wrestling in a part-time schedule, so it's a way to get Shawn Michaels off the storylines for a bit. So here's the story. So the original plan for legends that Triple H, like, I think he went to Vince's office, he pitched the idea to Vince to bring back War Games, but Vince McMahon declined the whole idea to bring back War Games because in reality War Games is not really Vince McMahon's creation. It's, you know, NWA/GCP/WCW's ideas. It's their creation. So I'm glad they brought it back for this year's Survivor Series. You know, 20 years later. But this was created by Eric Bischoff trying to beat Raw because beat SmackDown. My apologies. Trying to beat SmackDown because SmackDown had that epic Hell in a Cell match between Brock and Taker at No Mercy the previous month. So like Kane and Shawn Michaels had, you know, feud with Triple H. You know, like I said, you know, Triple H took out Shawn Michaels with the sledgehammer at SummerSlam, and also the whole Katie Fix storyline with Kane, Triple H, you know, wearing the Kane mask and fucking a dead mannequin. I think Booker T and also RVD, Greg Sample, also was feuding with Triple H for the world title. That was, you know, it was interrupted by Ric Flair. So I think Jericho and Booker T was feuding. They fought for the at the time the WWE's the future World Tag Team titles at No Mercy the previous month. So you can tell they got like, this is, you know, I think it was designed to wrap up feuds. That's my I have to describe it. That's really describe it. Because at the time most of them have feuds or feuding going into this match. So it's not, it's also for the world title. So who's got elimination first? Who got eliminated first? So Jericho, wow, he took a nasty bump or Kane kind of throw Jericho into the pixie glass. Jericho bled, and also the still floor was used while, like in today's Elimination Chamber matches, in today's product was protected. I don't know why. It's like that's a whole. They're trying to make it safer. Anyway, the first person who got eliminated was RVD, but you know, his RVD hit the the 5-star frog splash off one of the chamber pods onto Triple H. Triple H suffered a bruised trichala. He injured his throat. I think Rob injured his knee. It's not on the same level. He injured his knee 2 years later or 3 years later at the Elimination Chamber match at New Year's Revolution 2005. He got eliminated by Booker T with the drop kick. So RVD was out. People want. He was the poster boy of the show, but people want to see RVD winning it. But nope, he's not winning the world title on this show. So yeah, RVD will never got one sniff of the world title until winning the WWE Championship against John Cena at 1X 2006, 4 years later. That was a kick in the balls for RVD. It's just relegating him to the mid-card title picture. Booker T got eliminated by Jericho. Jericho hit the Lion Moonsault. And then Kane got eliminated. Got eliminated by 3 guys. Shawn hit Kane with his Sweet Chin Music. Triple H hit Kane with the Pedigree. And Jericho hit the Lion Moonsault again to eliminate the Big Red Monster. Like I said, Kane will never win the world title again until winning the ECW title in 2008, plus winning the world title again in 2010. Another story for another time. So, the whole bulk of the match, you had Triple H and Jericho feuding or helping. You had Booker T, Kane, Michaels are the baby faces. Triple H and Jericho are the heels. So, they kind of helping. In the quarter of the match, they beat down Shawn Michaels, and I think Triple H tried to pin Shawn Michaels, trying to eliminate him, but Jericho pulled him out, or vice versa. So they end up feuding. Yeah, Triple H and Jericho also feuded in 2002. They fought for the Undisputed Championship in WrestleMania 18 in Canada. They fought in Hell in a Cell in Judgment Day. In May. Wow. Now they fought in the Elimination Chamber match in November. Because at the time, Triple H and Jericho, I think they did made up, but back then, they hate each other due to, I think it has to do with, in one match, he give China a black eye, and then Triple H, in Canada, before, his match with Jericho for the Undisputed Championship, buried him in a Canadian radio show. I'm glad they made up. Anyway, so the final 2 is Shawn Michaels and Triple H. It was back and forth. They're both bleeding. I think Triple H hits the Pedigree onto Michaels. Michaels are kicked out. In the end, Shawn hits Triple H with the Sweet Chin Music, pins him, and become the World Heavyweight Champion for the one and only time. I know he won WWE Championships, in the past, but this is the first time at winning the big gold belt. It's the only time. It was his last world title in his career, and his first one since winning the WWF Championship at Survivor Series in 1997. And also, this is his first match in Survivor Series since that infamous match against Bret Hart in Survivor Series 97. The Montreal Screwjob. Fun fact: I reviewed Survivor Series 97 last time in the WWE Classic review segment or pay-per-view review segment. Sorry, I'm stumbling. It's getting late, man. But yeah, it's good to see Shawn winning it, and that's not the original idea because like I said, Shawn was wrestling in a part-time schedule, and I think Shawn winning it was good. Confetti was pulling out the arena. I think seeing Shawn getting that heartfelt win, that redemption, because it's a shame like Shawn never got another lengthy reign again, because let's be honest, who wants to see Triple H walking out and retaining the world title? Nobody. I think the right person won. He bust his ass. I think he pinned in few chamber matches. I think it was 2 or 3. I can't remember He won, you know, I think it's the only Elimination Chamber match he won, you know, in his career. So it's a damn shame, but yeah, yeah, you know, it's just what it is. So, but anyway, it's good to see Sean win it because, you know, because his career was ended in a anticlimactic way, you know, in 1998. So it's good to see him winning the world title. Um, so you know, his title reign was cut short the following month at Armageddon. That was the 3 Stages of Hell match between him and Triple H. Triple H retained his world title and still kicked off. Well, like I said, we're still in the middle of the reign of terror of Triple H, so I might review Armageddon next month because we're getting close to the 20th anniversary. So, but yeah, at the time it was a good chamber match. You know, if I put this chamber match, this is going in the top 5. There've been better ones over the years, but I think this, the first one, it's got to be number 1 or number 2. It's in the top 5 in my opinion. So, my final reign for Survivor Series 02, yeah, I give it a 10 out of 10. When people say this is the greatest Survivor Series of all time, believe them. Really, just believe them. This was really good. It starts out very well. It is similar to SummerSlam 02. It starts out well, ends it well. You know, it starts out with the elimination tables matches and ends with the elimination chamber match. Nothing in the bad, and yeah, it's very rare to see like 5 championship change hands on one show. That was like shocking, but yeah, it starts out really well. You know, the opener was good. Cruiserweight title match was fun to watch. Same as the women's title match. Same as Brock and Big Show with the Paul Heyman heel turn in the end because he was there with Brock since Brock debuted in the company the night after WrestleMania 18. I like the triple threat tag team match for the tag team titles, and plus the Elimination Chamber match, plus the debut of Scott Steiner, or the return of Scott Steiner. It's one or the other. So yeah, I suggest watching Survivor Series 2002, man. It's a fun show to watch. You know, it's just really fun. You got like the goosebumps and the drama and the emotion. You know, I think it's a shame that you're not gonna get like a truly classic good Survivor Series ever again. You know, you get some good shows in the next couple of years, but not on that same level as Survivor Series 02. It's MSG, fun to watch. So anyway, so I hope you enjoyed my review of Survivor Series 2002. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash that button, click the like, click the bell. Subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. Be part of the Central Unit for more wrestling videos and more. Next time, Survivor Series season is now in our review mirrors. Like by time I'll review another classic WWE pay-per-view will be in December. It got me thinking. 22 years later, it's in Birmingham, Alabama, and you know, this ends with 3 words: 6-man, Hell in the Cell. I haven't really reviewed a Attitude Era pay-per-view for ages. You know, during the peak of the Attitude Era, it's in the year 2000. You know, like I said, 3 words: 6-man, Hell in the Cell, or Armageddon, Hell in the Cell. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about Armageddon 2000. This is Central Man officially signing out. This is my review of Survivor Series 02. I give it 2 thumbs up.